Ladies and gentlemen, he's a man running for the Senate in Virginia. His signs are all over the place where we live. You can't drive a minute without seeing that sign big and bold because people believe in this man, Hung Cao. I hope I'm pronouncing his name right. Cao, C-A-O. He says, drag queens are responsible for our military recruitment numbers. Is that true, good sir? Here's this is a guy. What is this? Who's this? Pictured Yeoman second class. Is it Yeoman? Joshua Kelly in drag. Her stage name is Harpy Daniels. Stop. Drag queens are not trans. We have had drag queens on this show explain to us, do not use she, her pronouns for me. I'm a man. Drag is different. But they're doing this fake thing. Weird. They say his name is a drag queen, is Harpy Daniels, and he was tapped by the Navy to be a digital ambassador. Is that what the Navy and the military is? I mean, look, I don't understand the two eyebrows. That's fine. I'm not saying this to be mean, but this is a clown. That's not an insult. It's literally what a clown is. Weird looking clothes, strange behavior, meant to be humorous and entertaining with lots of makeup and a big wig. And here's the individual right here. It's a guy. Okay, it's not a trans person. It's a dude who dresses up in drag. All right, well, let's tell the story. And this is a Hung Cao, retired Navy captain, blaming drag queens for their recruitment. They say 2 years ago, the Navy recruited 2 years ago to do outreach. Check it out. Hung Cao, retired Navy captain, said was asked about lagging military recruitment numbers during a debate and bizarrely put the blame squarely on drag queens. Bizarrely? You mean accurately. Local news anchor Deanna Albritton brought up Cao's previous statement, ridiculing the Biden administration for its DEI-based military recruitment policies. She asked the Senate hopeful why such policies might have had an impact on the Department of Defense. In his first stab at the question, Cao attacked Biden's disastrous withdrawal from Afghanistan that led to the deaths of 13 U.S. service members. But when pressed on why DEI, diversity, equity, and inclusion, caused low recruitment numbers, Cao blamed a drag queen the Navy recruited 2 years ago to do outreach. Yo, this quote, send it home, quote, when you're using a drag queen to recruit for the Navy, that's not the people we want. What we need is alpha males and alpha females who are going to rip out their own guts, eat them, and ask for seconds. Those are the young men and women that are going to win wars. Which prompted clapping from the audience. Yo, I'd stand for that. Rip out their own guts, eat them, and ask for seconds. That's what I'm talking about. That's what win wars. What will win wars? Kelly announced on TikTok, he was referring, of course, to Joshua Kelly, who is a non-binary drag queen named Harpy Daniels. The unpaid role allows her to highlight her journey from performing on board. I want to stress, drag queens are males. They're not trans. So there's no problem saying he for a drag queen. Drag queens came on the show and told us this. Y'all conflating everything. It's weird. The ambassador program, which is meant to appeal to younger audience, was discontinued in March 2023 following harsh criticism from former service members and conservatives. Cao proudly clipped out his anti-drag queen answer and posted onto his X profile where it's got 750,000 views. Okay, I got to pull this one up because I saw this and I was just loving it. So he posted this one. Dude, shout out. This guy should have more followers. I'm going to play his ad too because I keep hearing about this guy, but I feel like we're not hearing enough. And is this the where there I like this guy. Check this out. Here we go. And he's like such a stoic guy.
When you're using a drag queen to recruit for the Navy, that's not the people we want. What we need is alpha males and alpha females who are going to rip out their own guts, eat them, and ask for seconds. Those are young men and women that are going to win wars.
Please, audience, please.
I love that. Please, audience, don't clap for this. This is an ad that he had a while ago. Got 2 million views. It's 3 minutes long. I don't know if I'll play the full thing for you, but I want to show you just a little bit of this because this guy's fantastic.
This is the scariest sound you will hear when you live in a communist country. This is the last sound my parents heard when their fathers were taken away in the middle of the night, and they never saw their loved ones again. That's the sound of losing your freedom, the sound of always living in fear. That's my family's real life story. We escaped from Vietnam just days before Saigon fell to the communists. We were given a new life, in the most generous country on earth. America saved my life. I graduated from the United States Naval Academy. I earned a master's in physics and fellowships at MIT and Harvard before the left replaced merit with racial quotas. I spent my life trying to repay my debt to America, my country, our country, with 25 years of service in Navy Special Operations, combat in Iraq, Afghanistan, and Somalia. But now our country has taken a dark turn. That's Joe Biden's Justice Department sending 24 armed agents to arrest a pro-life activist in front of his family. That's Joe Biden's IRS raiding a gun shop and seizing thousands of records from law-abiding gun owners. Our names, our addresses, our social security numbers. That's Joe Biden arresting his challenger in the next election, a former president of the United States. And now a different sound. That's the sound of someone breaking into your home or business. The sound of crime destroying our cities and communities. That's how it all starts. They let criminals back on our streets. Millions of illegal immigrants pour across our border each year, including military-aged men from all over the world.
Wow.
And enough fentanyl to kill every man, woman, and child in this country. And the Biden family? Well, that's how it works in a dictatorship. The rules don't apply to the rulers. We are losing our country. You know it, but you also know you can't say it. We're forced to say that wrong is right. We're forced to lie. We can't let that happen. I've been all over the world. Believe me when I tell you, if America fails, there's nowhere else to go. I'm Hung Kao, retired Navy captain, running for United States Senate. I still believe America can be the land of opportunity. I have an obligation to fight back against those who want to control our lives and disrupt our families. We need real fighters, not politicians, not bureaucrats, not keyboard warriors acting tough in a custom-made suit. No, not here in America. We must refuse to be intimidated. We must be fearless. I'm Hung Kao. I'm running for Senate, and I approve this message because I'm not done fighting for us.
I don't know how this guy does not have like 1 million followers. I'm a huge fan, especially after seeing this at his debate with Timcast. I don't live in Virginia, man. I live in best Virginia. Okay, we're West Virginia. We're way better. Virginia's gone deep blue, and there's a lot of issues with it. But man, that ad, it went viral before, and we talked about it. But I was like, I'll play a little bit. I played the whole thing. I'm like, it is too good. He nails it. He absolutely nails it. And I got to tell you, man, how I feel about immigration. He nails it. Because I say this all the time. Bring them all in. Bring every single immigrant. Every single one. It's got to be done legally. You got to come in through the normal process, respect our laws, and come here. And here's this guy that I think he exemplifies my argument so well that I'm happy to highlight his ad. His family fled the communists in Vietnam. He comes to the United States. So what does he do? He says, I am going to give it all back. And he serves for 25 years. Talk about respect. I never served. Who am I? That he would put his life on the line like this for someone like me. Who am I? Some skateboarding dude who hung out in Chicago and ran around filming stuff, I guess. And I feel honored to know that there are people who have come to this country and hold such reverence that he would provide a service to me with respect to my country. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I want to see. I don't see that with the current administration. When they bring in the Haitians, and I got no beef with the Haitians, but when they come in illegally, they apply for temporary protected status, and then they don't assimilate properly. I don't blame them completely. I don't. I blame an administration that is bringing in people who don't give back in the same way. I'm not saying every single immigrant needs to join the military and go off and fight, but I'm saying you want to talk about an example of respect for our country is a person who was brought here, saved from the communists as a child, his family given an opportunity, and in turn they said, we can never repay you enough. And so what does this guy do? He serves in the military, and now he's running for office to protect the values of this country that he says saved his life. Man, that brings a tear to my eye. Almost a tear to my eye. But I well up inside. I'm like, damn, dude. What did I do to deserve that? Well, I am a child of this country, same as all of you. Not all of you. Some of you may be migrants. And not every single immigrant who comes here has to go and fight wars or do anything like that. But have respect. Have some respect. That's it. And I don't think that's a dirty thing to say. I don't think it's a mean thing to say. You come to this country legally and you file the paperwork, you do everything right. You say, I respect what you guys have built and what you have to offer. And I thank you for giving me a chance. And I say, bro, I got your back any day of the week. You come to my country through the legal process. You come hang out with me. I'm going to buy you pizza. I'll take you out to dinner because that's respect and I appreciate it. And I want you to come. I want the immigrants to come to this country. We can use skilled labor. We can use people who are good at their jobs. I want you here. I do. But you got to do it with respect. Now, look, let's put it this way. Here's how I view myself. I'm a rich kid. What does that mean? No, I didn't grow up rich, but I did grow up in America. So I'm wealthier than most people, even coming from a poor family in the United States. And we look at each other with a relativity in poverty. So you may be poor in the United States, but compared to some of these other places, especially war-torn countries, you're the rich kid. I didn't fight in any wars. I did not build the bridges or the buildings that made this country great. Well, I did build this building with assistance from contractors and everybody coming together and the resources that y'all have provided as members. And those things that we build, we'll pass down all the same. But when I see someone come to this country and say, I know it's yours, I know your parents, built it for you, I'm going to come here. I'm going to ask you politely if I can take one of the rooms. I'm going to pay my bills. I'm going to pay my rent. I'm going to help with the chores. And I'm going to make sure that we have a good time together. I'm going to be like, bro, come on and hang out. We'll play Magic the Gathering. Maybe we'll watch some MMA. I'll order the pizza and the wings. And I'm glad you're here and I'm glad you're hanging out. But if you break my window open and come in here and then demand I let you stay, I reject that 100%. But you know what? I'll give him a shout out too as he brings up another really important points. The banging on the door. When they were arresting pro-life activists for sitting in front of abortion clinics. But far leftists rioted in 2020, and we are seeing some convictions. Don't get me wrong. I appreciate that. Justice and accountability. It's not about retribution. But largely, these people got away with it. People in D.C. rioted during Trump's inauguration. Hundreds got away with it. In fact, they sued the city and they got paid $1 million+ in penalties or whatever. The city had to pay them, despite the fact they were running around smashing things. Oh, you couldn't prove an individual did it. This group showed up with the intent to do it. So you know what, man? I saw this guy's comment about the military and the drag queens and eating their own guts. And I was like, it's about time somebody said it. And I know people have been saying it, but I thought to myself when I saw that, I was like, he's so close to DC. How does this guy not have 1 million followers? Maybe he just doesn't keep as high of a profile, but I wish he did because I hope to God he wins. Tim Kaine, I don't know about that, man. But this guy, he looks so fantastic with everything he's saying. And I just want to stress this again. His message is, America saved my life, so I served for 25 years, vote for me. And I'm like, you bet, dude. I call that respect. Not to mention his photos of his time in the military look pretty cool. You want to advertise for the military and inspire people? Tell his story. You bring a drag queen on and you insult and offend me. And probably a lot of other people, okay? I see a picture of Hung Kao in just decked out in his full gear when he's in the military, and he says, America saved my life, and so I'm giving back. And I'm just like, that's the best recruitment ad I've ever seen. Be the hero who saves the lives. I don't know what they're going for. I got to be completely honest. Maybe it's just me. I like superhero movies, but I tell you what inspires me to action. It's the superheroes I grew up watching were popular among young men, kids for a reason, because we want to be Superman, not just to have powers. Some kids are like, I'm being bullied. I wish I had superpowers. That's how you get villains. But some people want to be like Superman or Batman. They have the ability, but they never kill. There's comics where they do. I get it. But the general idea in the shows that we watch was, no, it's always wrong. Arrest them. And then you get the problems of the Joker getting out. I get it. But the point is, I see with our vets and statements like that, that's how you recruit. I'm going to tell you, there's going to be some 16-year-old kid who sees that video and he's going to be like, I want to be just like him. That's recruitment right there. So shout out to Hung Kao, man. Best of luck. Love to get you on the show and talk about this because his experience especially is so fascinating. So maybe there's a conversation to be had. We're a month out from the election and Should be interesting. I'm going to wrap it up there, my friends. Smash that like button, subscribe to this channel, share the show with everyone you know, and head over to getcominghome.com. Pick up the song on iTunes. On Amazon now. It's available. And so we would greatly appreciate it if you do. You can follow me on X at Timcast. Smash that like button, of course. Thanks for hanging out. We'll be back tonight at 8 p.m. over at youtube.com/TimcastIRL live here on YouTube. We'll see y'all then.